Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at the concept of intervals in relation to mathematics, and we define interval A as a collection of the points defined by an inequality operation on the set of real numbers. So we simply define intervals as a point or the collection of all the points in between some sets of real numbers. In general, we have two types of interval. You can have open intervals. We're going to be looking at examples of this, and we can also have. So the difference between these two is quite clear. If you're looking at open intervals, the end points are always excluded. Let me make an example. If you are to write all the points in between 2 and 10, so you have two options, whether to include 2 and 10 or to exclude 2 and 10. So we can either start from 3 up to 9, or we start from 2 up to 10. So in a case whereby the endpoints are excluded, whereby we didn't include the endpoints, in this case which are 2 and 10, we refer to this as open interval. So in open interval, the endpoints are excluded. And also for closed interval, so whenever we have the endpoints included, this will be referred to as closed interval. For example, in this case, if you are to write all the points between 7 and 14, so to write all these points, we won't start from 8 to 13, but starting from 7 to 14, meaning that the endpoints are included. So these are called closed intervals. So here the endpoints are included. So these are the major differences between open intervals and closed intervals. Also take note that in mathematics, whenever we use parentheses, so this is used to demarcate open interval, and when we use the angle brackets, the square brackets, this is used to demarcate the closed interval. So let's look at some examples to better illustrate this. So if you have an interval that is demarcated with a comma b, this is an open interval and the endpoints are excluded, meaning that a and b are excluded from all the points. Also, if you have something of this nature, a comma b, so you have that for the first interval, for the first point, is bounded by a closed interval, meaning that the first point is included but the second point is excluded. So we are going to start from a to b less 1. And also lastly, and third example, you can have negative infinity to infinity. So we use simplicity whenever we are looking at numbers as it extends forever. So they are bounded with open interval, and take note that infinity are always bounded with open intervals. So these are how we represent intervals in mathematics. So for example, if you are to give out all the points bounded by this interval, so we have that 2 is bounded with closed interval and 7 is bounded with open interval. So meaning that 2 will be included but 7 will be excluded. So if you have to write all the points, so we are going to start from 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 7 will be excluded. Again, if you have something bounded with 2 and 7, so both 2 and 7 in this case are bounded with open interval. So meaning that both 2 and 7 are excluded. So we are going to start from 3, 4, 5 and 6. And lastly, if you have both 2 and 7 bounded with closed interval, so we are going to start from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this is simply the concept of intervals in relation to mathematics. In next tutorial, we are going to be looking at modulus and absolute values.